Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 55 of the Path to 1 Million. My name is Cliff Duvinois. Today, I want to talk about a parable that, truth be told, I haven't heard since I was a kid. When I was little, we went to church 3 times a week, and I had this thing pounded into my head so many times, but I wanted to share it with you because it actually came up at church the other day when I was watching an episode of it. So it's a story about the 10 lepers, and there's an episode in the Bible where 10 lepers approached Jesus, and they asked him, Jesus, would you please heal us? Now, back then, if you were a leper or you were diagnosed with leprosy or whatnot, you were basically ostracized from the community. You couldn't see your family anymore. You couldn't see your friends anymore. You were immediately dispelled from the community, the town or village that you lived in, and you had to go live in a leper colony. And to approach your family or anything after that, your wife, your loved ones, whatever, was pretty much a death sentence. Nobody wanted you around. So this was really a very tough thing for people to live with if you had leprosy. So, for these 10 guys, they're standing way off to the back and they're just yelling at Jesus, would you please heal us? And Jesus says to them, go, you have been healed. And of course, when they start to walk away, they realize that their leprosy has been healed. They get super excited. They start running. They start running back to their towns, their villages, to see their family, to see their loved ones that probably they haven't seen in years. And they're jumping and they're excited and they're shouting. And out of the 10 lepers that went, one stopped and turned around and came back to Jesus and thanked him. Of course, Jesus is a little bit irritated by this, and he says, where are the other 9? And, the moral of the story, of course, of this is that, were the other 9, were they not thankful? Were they not grateful because, Jesus had healed them? And, the argument is made that no, they weren't. They were extremely thankful. They were extremely grateful for it. They had been healed. They could go back and see their loved ones. They could go back and see their spouses. They could go back and see their kids, their family, their best friends. So it wasn't an issue that they weren't grateful or ungrateful for it. But the moral of the story is that not expressing gratitude is viewed the same way as ingratitude. And when the pastor of the church was talking about it, he said that, it really struck me, really struck a chord inside of me, because there have been times where I have done things for people and I did not thank them as much as I could have, or as much as I should have. And the relationship, or our relationship afterwards, has kind of gone a little bit cold. And I never could quite figure out what it is that I had done. And I think it was because of the fact that, maybe I just didn't express my gratitude enough for them, for the work that they had done for me. And I have felt this for other people when I've done favors for them. It just seems like, there's just some people that just keep coming back and just ask. And they never thank. And it's made our relationship actually turn a little bit cold because of it. But I remember there was a development class that I took a handful of years ago with Joshua Smith, and he talked about this concept called the Core 4. And the Core 4 was a series of 8 activities that you would do every morning. You would get like a half a point for every activity. And the entire goal of this was to try to score all 8 points before 8 o'clock in the morning. And of course, they're broken up between mind, body, business, and relationships. One of the activities that you had to do every single day before 8 o'clock was to reach out to 2 people in your network and just say, you know what, I am grateful that we had an opportunity to meet. I'm thankful we had an opportunity to meet. I just want to let you know that your friendship means everything to me. And just send it out. Not an ask, not a lead into, hey, could you do me a favor or anything else like that. Just contact them and just let them know that you appreciate them being in your network, in your friend circle, whatever that might be. So I remember the first day that I did that, and I reached out to people in the morning and I say, hey, just let you know that I'm grateful for your friend, for being my friend. I really do appreciate everything that you've done for me throughout our careers or our lives or whatever that might be. And of course, what was interesting was the reaction that I got from them and from other people. But the first question out of their mouth is, are you dying? And it made me wonder, like, why is it that there's always this stigma that people can't say that I appreciate you being in my life or being my friend or whatever it is until you're like laying on your deathbed? Why don't you do this more throughout your life? And so this was like a practice that I initiated into my life, and contacting people that were in my network, that were a part of, my business relationships, and focused on telling them every single day, picking 2 people out and just saying, hey, you know what? I really do appreciate you being in my network. I really do appreciate everything that you've done for me or whatnot. And I really was surprised at the very positive reaction that people gave. I wasn't reaching out to ask them for anything or to do me any favors. It was just the mere fact that I was acknowledging how much they meant to me, meant the world, because that whole phrase, not expressing gratitude is the same as ingratitude. And the last thing I want people in my network, whether they're my clients, my partners, whether they are my friends or my relationships or whatever it is, the last thing I want people to do is to think that I am not grateful. So therefore, the only way that I can make sure that happens is to express my gratitude, right? So, one of the things that I do want to say today is I got a little bit of a challenge for everybody that's actually watching this video. So I would actually challenge you today to reach out to 2 people that are in your network or in your business relationships, whatever it might be. Just send them a note or call them on the phone and just say, hey, you know what? I am glad that you're in my life, and I really do appreciate our relationship that we've had. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for landing this big client for me. Just thank them. Just reach out just to thank them for being in your network and being a part of your life. And if you want to leave a comment down below to let me know how that went, I would absolutely love to read those. Anyways, I just wanted to share that little story with you. I will be back tomorrow with another story. I hope you guys all have a phenomenal Thursday day, and I will see you then.